This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions today for the Power Project. Brought to you by HowMuchYouBench.net and the only strength magazine in the world, thepowermagazine.com. I've got a couple questions to get to, but before I do that, I want to talk to you about how to ask a question to the Power Project. Power Project Army, listen up, soldiers. Here's what I suggest to you. When you send a question in to me, don't go on and on forever with your life story. Secondly, get to your question quickly. Put your question in the heading of the email itself. Also, ask your question early. If you want to praise me, or you want to thank me, or you want to kiss my feet, or you want to put me up on a pedestal, I appreciate that. And I enjoy all that, but do that afterwards. Do that at the end of your email. And also, all you people that are sending in stuff, giving props to the slingshot, that is a much faster route to get your question answered. Hint, hint. Let's see, we got some questions to get to today. Oh, send your questions to PowerProjectArmy@yahoo.com. We got a couple questions to get to today. Question number uno is about a keto diet, ketogenic diet. Ketogenic diet refers to a diet where you're eating high amounts of fat, high amounts of protein, and also very minimal amounts of carbohydrates. You're really trying not to ingest any carbohydrates. That's always my suggestion to people, and people get all confused by it. But you're really just trying to stay as close to zero as possible. So if you read the back, you read the nutritional labels of stuff, if something has more than 3 or 4 grams per serving, you don't want anything to do with it. Usually meat. The servings on the back, it will tell you that it has 0 grams of carbohydrates unless there's some sort of marinade in there. I wouldn't be too concerned about some of those really small amounts of carbohydrates. So some of you are asking, do you stay under 30 grams? I believe this is from Revlikov, however you say your name, off the YouTubes. That was his question. Do you stay under 30 grams a day? I try to, or I used to try to, when I was doing CarbNite. Currently, I have kind of moved into, I don't want to say backloading, because I eat carbs before my workouts sometimes too. But typically, a normal day, a training day, maybe about 200 carbs. A non-training day, maybe only about 100, or maybe even only 50 carbs for the day. Even when I did CarbNite, though, I never minded taking in some minimal trace carbs from some stuff that I felt would keep me on the diet, would help keep moving me forward. For example, these are my sponsors, so plug, wink, wink. But they're great products. This is a product that I used a lot called Yum Nuts. It's really good. It's cashews. This one's toasted coconut. They make chocolate. Let's see, chocolate cashew is probably the best one, and this one is probably the second best one. But look them up. You can Google them. I'm trying to look at the website right now. They should have it in big giant letters. Maybe even put it on the nuts themselves. It's just yumnutsnaturals.com, yumnutsnaturals.com. But that was a great product that always helped me. I'd usually have it at night, usually after a training session. It was like the last thing I ate before I went to bed, usually just because I have cravings for sugary stuff. I was a fat kid. I was a fat kid that loved to eat candy, and so I got a sweet tooth, and so that's how I kind of satisfy some of that. I don't always do that, but sometimes I'll eat. And when I talk about eating these, I'm not eating the whole bag. I'm eating like, maybe a serving or 2 of it. It's got about 9 carbohydrates per serving, but a lot of that's fiber because it's cashews. This is another great product that I like. This company called Kai's. Their website is Kai's with a Z, kaisconcepts.com. This is an awesome product. They're all peanut butter based. So all those people out there, you have a great hatred for peanut butter. It's not a product for you. But it's an awesome product. It's got 10 grams of fat. Most of them are healthy fats from monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. It's got 24 grams of protein if you were to eat the whole thing, and it's got 13 grams of carbohydrates, about 7 grams of sugar. So again, if you're trying to follow a diet closely and you want results quickly, then maybe you don't even use any of those snacks. But for me, it was something that helped keep me moving forward, and it wasn't something that I ate every day, and I didn't eat tons and tons of it nonstop. So if you have some self-control and you can allow yourself to have a little bit, that's what I'd usually do. I'd usually have these type of things with a protein shake. I've always felt that when you eat something with a protein shake, you absorb it much more betterest. So let's see. We got a question. This guy's got a question about a disc injury. He's kind of wondering how he should start training again. His back is starting to feel a little better. He wants to kind of get back into it, but he's not sure exactly what he should be doing. So to get into some heavy training, and you actually mentioned some repetitions and stuff. You also mentioned the cube method by Brandon Lilly. The cube method is basically a stretched out version of the West Side Barbell method, where you're utilizing and implementing the repetition effort method, max effort method, and the dynamic effort method. It does help give you more rest, which would be very beneficial to somebody who has an injury. What I would say, though, is that I am in total disagreement with many people out there who, when they get hurt, they decide to start doing some repetitions. I think the more that you're underneath the weight, the worse off you're going to be. I like doubles, triples, singles when you're hurt with light weights. Now, if you're just coming off an injury and you want to do sets of 10 with very, very light weights, not challenging at all, that's kind of a different story. But if you're trying to push it for sets of 6 or sets of 8, you're going to get fucked up in a bad way too, because now you're under load for longer, the time under tension is longer, and you're lifting out of position for multiple reps and going through those spots where you're most likely to get injured. So don't do that. I've always been a big proponent of singles. Get those weights off of you as quickly as possible. Get them over with as quickly as possible. But maybe just do a lot of singles. Maybe do like 10 sets of 1. Try something like that. Make sure that you're not getting fatigued. Make sure you're not getting tired. Make sure you're not out of position. This is a great time to kind of work on your form. You can take a barbell or a very, very light weight and do real high repetitions, and you can kind of work on your form. When I say really light weights, I'm talking about light shit, 100 pounds, something like that. Don't push it if you're hurt. But it gives you a great opportunity to work on your form, your technique, and your timing, the timing of your lifts. So that's my suggestion to you. I would follow the cube method. I'd also recommend that you just go buy the book, jtsstrength.com. You can look up a lot of stuff, my magazine, Power Magazine, thepowermagazine.com. If you registered for the digital issue, you'll get a bunch of back issues all the way through 2012, and you'll see articles by Brandon Lilly. And you'll be able to absorb a lot of what he's saying, and you'll be able to apply it. But I still recommend buying the book. You always want to go right to the source, and you want to get the information firsthand, and you want to be able to learn it. The principle of awareness is a key ingredient to making yourself a better lifter, to self-improvement. So make sure that you are aware of what's going on, who it came from, and why it came from them. And that's why I suggest that you just go buy the book. Let's see. We got another question here. Kind of along these same lines, we got a question about being sick, which I'm actually a little bit sick right now. I have a cold. I am a person that gets sick multiple times a year. I'm around a bunch of filthy scumbags all the time, and something's bound to happen. I also have 2 children, and you guys out there that have kids, what little germ bombs those guys are. But something that I did this year that was different is not only did I diet, the nutrition and stuff like that helped. I changed my sleep patterns. I forced myself to go to bed at certain times, and that helped a lot. But also been taking vitamin D3. Vitamin D3, it's not an illegal drug or anything like that. It's something you can go pick up at your local grocery store or pharmacy. So look into getting some of that, and how much do you take? It comes in IUs. And I would take at least 10,000 IUs a day. The ones I have come about 2,000 and 5,000 IU capsules but I'd even take upwards of 50 a day. And right now I'm taking a lot, and I feel better than I normally do when I'm sick. How do you train when you're sick? You train the same way, but you taper down stuff a little bit. If you have a fever, do not go to the gym. If you have a fever, do not go to the gym. If you feel like you have something that you're going to spread around that you've only had for like a day, something that's fresh, don't go to the gym. It's not worth it to get your buddies sick and everybody else sick. And that stuff cycles back around, then you get sick again. You got to realize powerlifting or fitness in general is a marathon. You're in it for the long haul. This is a lifestyle. So if you miss a day or 2 or 3, it really doesn't matter. Most of the people I'm speaking to here at the Power Project are probably in the age range of 15 to 35 or so, or 15 to 40. And that's relatively young. Even if you're under 50, it's still relatively young. And you'll recover very quickly. If you miss one workout, you'd be surprised how much further ahead you'll be in the long run. And we're at the 11-minute mark, so I better get going. And that is it from supertraining.tv.